If you liked science and chemistry class in school, you may be excited about this next job. Researching, analyzing, and developing chemical processes. Our next guest does all this in a brewery lab. Hi, I'm Brian.
Hey, I'm Kelsey.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Want to come to the back and see the lab?
Absolutely.
My name is Kelsey Dodds. I'm a laboratory manager at Parallel 49 Brewing. My job is to make sure that the beer tastes and smells the way it's supposed to when the customer gets their hands on it. My day starts at about 7 a.m. I have to be here when production and when the brewers are doing their job. I come into the lab, make sure all the machines are woken up and calibrated, and then go around and start taking samples and making sure that the beer is fermenting in an appropriate way. So some of the regular equipment that I use on a day-to-day basis would be a lot of microbiology equipment, microscopes, incubators. I pour a lot of Petri dishes. So this is my favorite piece of low-tech science equipment. It is a stirring hot plate. So generally it works that I'll go get wort from the brewers, and it's when I'm trying to grow yeast up or to make it for them. So I'll put some nice wort in it so I can turn it on so the hot plate will start boiling the liquid to sterilize it. Okay. But it also has a really fun function that you can set it and it'll stir everything all by itself. So you could put a lid on it, let it boil, and then it'll sterilize. And then once it's done and cooled down, then I know when I pitch yeast into it that the yeast is the only thing alive in there.
Wow.
And so when the yeast grows, we know that they're happy, healthy, and alive and are doing their thing in a nice little sterile environment.
And it's pretty entertaining
And
to
it's
look at.
super cool to look at, yeah. I've always had a passion for science. I graduated from university with a Bachelor's of Science degree, and from that tried to find a place in the industry that I could work. It just so happened that Parallel 49 was becoming a really big player in the beer industry and wanted to open up a lab portion. And I had the right initiative and desire to work with science and a passion for beer that it kind of all came together at a really happy point in my life. As a laboratory manager, you have to have a lot of general science ideas. It's not just specializing in microbiology or just specializing in chemistry. You could also almost work in any laboratory, depending on what setting you want to specialize in or work in. We're gonna do a cell count.
Okay.
So we went and we grabbed a bunch of middle fermented beer.
Okay.
So the brewers brewed the beer and they put some yeast in it, and now the yeast is doing their thing. So we're gonna make sure that there's enough yeast cells in that one beer to make sure that it's gonna ferment out and taste the way that it's supposed to.
All right.
So we're gonna take this sample,
Yes.
and we're gonna look at it under the microscope to make sure that there's the right amount of cells to be doing what the cells should be doing.
Okay.
That's for this. When we look in the microscope, you can see
Oh, wow.
all the little yeast cells that are
Oh, yeah.
doing their thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the blue ones that I'm looking at are the ones that are dead.
Those are
cells.
dead, so we don't want to count those ones because they're not going to do us any good.
No.
And the little clear bubble-looking guys are living yeast cells, and they're the ones that are actually doing the work to make the beer. If you wanted to get into a career as a brewery lab manager, doing some chemistry or microbiology classes would really be helpful. But any kind of science degree, be it chemical engineering or biochemistry or biology, would be helpful as well. Advice that I would have for someone that wants to get in this field is really make sure that you have a passion for science and the scientific method. If you get hung up on not being able to find the right answer all the time, you're not going to have a good day in the lab. It's just a constant step-by-step little discoveries at a time that you can really put it together and have a good day. The job has changed a lot in the years that I've been here. Now with advancements in some technology, we've been able to be really proactive in things. We've been doing some genetic sequencing in the lab now, so we're able to tell that our yeast strains are behaving the way that they're going to, not only in this generation, but multiple generations of yeast down the line. The most rewarding aspect of a lab manager position is when you find the key to that puzzle, when nothing seems to be going right, and then one day you just have a aha moment and you're just like, that's the answer all along, and it helps everyone else out. It makes everyone else's day at the brewery better because you figured it out, and it's just like, that's a good day.
Kelsey, thank you so much for having me today. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. I'm gonna go do some science now.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Once again, I'm Brian for Career Track, reminding you that this career could be yours.